to this. Okay, that'll work. Sure. Yes. All right. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Low, 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 low. All right, we'll wait a little bit for people to come on in. Okay, that'll be all right. Did that not? Oh, okay, it did. All right, that's fine. That is okay by me. Yep. All right, we are. Hello, everybody. But body, oh, everybody. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, that was something that. Okay. There we go. I did it. Let's go with this. Hello. Hey, Sam. How are you? All right. I was hoping somebody come in and be like, oh, I want to start class. Be like, let's do stuff. Woo. All right. Good shape. Good. Good. Did you have a good weekend? Just eating? Fair enough. Sitting, chilling. Nah. Hopefully nothing bad happened over the weekend. Hopefully it was pretty chill at the very least. Alright. Maybe play some video games. Sleep in a little bit. Like, there you go. Yeah, it wasn't like super eventful either. It was okay. I did what I needed to do. That's about it. I was watching the Bears game yesterday, so I just stayed up and watched football most of the afternoon. Yes. I believe so. Let me check. Yeah. Yeah, Wednesday. That's right. That is correct, good sir. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait a few more minutes here. See if see you, Sam. I see Neon. I see Fernando. That's okay. You got 2 more days of which to finish. No big deal. Okay. All right. Almost there. Almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully that works. Just making sure. Now I know I said 2 last time. I know I did say that, but I have a reason. I have a reason for doing just the one here today. So Though it's nothing with you guys, it has everything to do with the next section and what I believe to be yeah, 7.5 is kind of meh. 7.5 is one of those sections that is pretty difficult, so um I might forego doing that section there. So yeah, so section 7.5 talks about maximization and minimization via graphing and whatnot, and like it's good, but here's my biggest issue with that section is that it's a very visual section, and like you need to like visualize everything in that section. And that one is, yeah, I don't know if I could serve that justice if I did that one. Like it's important, yes, but it's just like, hmm, it's a little, mm, it's a little awkward to do when you're not on a whiteboard, in my opinion. But that's just me. So you might end up skipping it, but I'm gonna skip it for now. I'm gonna do the last section, and I'll decide if I'm doing it next class. Because I'm like, that's not the greatest. It's not it's not that good of a section, so it can be very awkward. You little been coming in here 12 times, deleting the app, and then there's still just a black screen. Uh, hmm, uh, hmm. Well, I tried to is it still just a black screen there? Like I thought I kind of fixed some of the issues that I had. Maybe? Maybe restart your device, see how that goes. Let's hope that that works out. Okay, all right, we're kind of running out of time. Okay, well, let's hopefully Neon makes his way back in, so hopefully he'll get here. There we go. I think he's back in now. All right. Okay, let's get started today. Welcome back to Monday. Hopefully, have a nice weekend. All right, so today we're going to go ahead and do just the one section here, section 7.4. Last time we did two equations and two variables, solving for x and y. Here today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going ahead and doing some graphing here today with some inequalities. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing here today, is graphing a system or a inequality. So let's go ahead and do this here. It didn't work? That's kind of weird. Can you guys see me on screen? So can you guys see me on screen? You know what's going on there? Okay. Okay, that's okay. That's kind of weird. Not sure why Neon's having a tough time. Oh well. Maybe it is his phone. I don't know. Okay. So it's talking about section 7.4. We're going to be graphing linear inequalities in two variables. Okay. Okay. I'm a little confused, but okay. I guess that's fine. I guess. All right. That's okay. All right. All right. So we're going to go ahead and graph linear inequalities in two variables. So what does linear inequality in two variables look like? Well, let's talk about that. So a linear inequality in two variables is going to look something like this. It's like 3x minus y is, let's say, bigger than or equal to 6. Okay, so this is a linear inequality. All right? So what we're going to do here with 3x minus y is bigger than or equal to 6. So what we're going to do here is specifically, we're going to be able to solve for y. Okay, so one of the things that we have to do is solve for y. Solve for y in the inequality. So you know what graph you need to look over. Okay, so actually I should probably state this as step 1. Step 1, solve for y in the inequality so you know what kind of graph you'll need to look over. Okay, so let's talk about what that means. So what that means here specifically is that that we're going to solve for y here, and to do that, there's a couple of ways of doing that. First, we can say subtract by 3x, for example, on both sides. So here we have minus y is bigger than 6 minus 3x. Then we want to divide by minus 1. And we have to divide everything by minus 1. Okay. Okay, now here we get positive y. Now remember one of the things that is important here. Remember, if we divide everything by minus 1, that means that the sign here has to flip. And this becomes negative 6 plus 3x. So one of the things that we have to kind of highlight here in this particular instance is that, let's put a note here. Note, if you multiply, divide by a negative number, you must flip the inequality. And then the second note I want to put here for these guys is just to be careful about sign changes. So as you can see here, the other mistake people make besides not flipping the inequality that I see often is forgetting that you have minus 3 divided by minus 1, which is positive 3. Okay, so that's what we have going on there. Okay. There any questions about that? Okay. Next, let's talk about what we're doing next here. So we're just being careful about sign changes and whatnot, but what is the next step here in this process? Let's talk about it. Okay, step 2. So next step 2 is to replace the inequality with an equal sign and graph the line. Okay, so we're going to replace the inequality with equal sign and graph the line. So let's go ahead and see what that means. So that means that I'm just taking y is equal to negative 6 plus 3x. All right, we're just going to set it just like that, and we're going to graph y equals 6 plus 3, negative 6 plus 3x. Okay? All right. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph this out, all right? And let's see exactly what our graph is going to look like. Okay, so for this one here, y equals negative 6 plus 3x. Okay, so all we're going to do here is make our little XY chart. We're just going to plug in some numbers and draw that line. Okay. Ah, yes, we'll have to add one more thing to this step, of course. All right, so let me check if I have that. Oh, I do. Okay. So if we plug in 0, we get minus 6. If we plug in, let's say, 2, we get 0. It's probably good enough anyway. Let's see, minus 1 is minus 9. You get the idea. Okay, so not too hard to really get the numbers here necessarily. Okay, now one of the most important parts about graphing linear inequalities is when you graph the line. So let's see, let's go ahead and put here. Graph the line using the following, okay? So there's going to be very specific things that we need to do depending on what kind of inequality that we have. The first one here is going to be a dotted line. So a dotted line if we have strictly less than or strictly bigger than. So if we look at the inequality here, we say, all right, we have strictly less than, strictly bigger than, we put a dotted line in place of that guy. The other one here is a solid line. And this is a solid line if, again, we have less than or equal to, or again, bigger than or equal to. So if you have these two guys sitting here, then yes, indeed, that is what you got there. So dotted line for strictly less than, strictly bigger than, and a solid line if less than or equal to and bigger than or equal to. Okay? All right. So in this particular instance, let's go ahead and graph this out. Okay. So here, down here, we have 0, comma, minus 6. Over here, we have 2, comma, 0. And we have negative 1, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so technically down here somewhere. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and put this together here. Now, the question I have for you guys is, What kind of line am I going to use? Am I going to use a solid line or am I going to use a dotted line? Should I use a solid line or a dotted line? Okay. Sure. Sorry about that. Here's the original equation right here. Y, actually, I should say, sorry, let me try that again. I'm so sorry. Where is it? Yep. There's the original equation there, Fernando. So is this a solid line or a dotted line? Yeah, definitely solid. Okay, definitely solid because our original inequality is either, again, bigger than or equal to, less than or equal to. It doesn't matter which way it goes. What matters is that it's less than or bigger than or equal to. So yes, that indeed is solid. And I can't find my mouse. Okay, there, I can find my mouse. So we're going to have a solid line go through each one of these points. Okay. So now that we have that, let's talk about what comes next. All right, next. Next is step 3. Okay, so step 3 is basically do the 0, 0 test to determine which side of the graph to shade to represent the solution set. Okay, so do the 0, 0 test to determine which side of the graph to shade to represent the solution set. Now let's talk about the 0, 0 test and what that actually means. Okay, so the 0, 0 test is pretty easy. Let's describe it. Okay, so the 0, 0 test basically says plug in x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0 into the original inequality. If the inequality is true, then shade the side including 0, 0. If the inequality is false, then shade the side not including 0, 0. Okay, so that's the key here. If the inequality is true, then shade the side including 0, 0. If the inequality is false, then shade the side not including 0, 0. So again, the side, why do we say that? Again, 0, 0 is right smack dab here in the middle. It's very, very easy to find. It requires no effort of which to work with. So let's take a look at the 0, 0 test in this particular instance. Okay, so I'm going to start off, this is where we started off with, this original problem, and we're going to do the 0, 0 test on that. So all we have to do is plug in 0. Okay. Okay, so we get 0 minus 0, which is 0. So So we asked the question here. It's always the same question, by the way, for this. Yeah. So is 0 bigger than or equal to 6? So is 0 bigger than or equal to 6? Is that true or false? True or false? So 0 is bigger than or equal to 6. Okay, false. That's right. So this is false. So because this is false, okay, because this is false, what do we do next? So because this is false, what do we do? Shade the side not including 0, 0. That's right. So take a look here. We have two sides. We have this side here that includes 0, 0 because 0, 0 is in this side. But we also have this side here, which we'll mark in red. And so this is the area here that we shade in order to produce our final result of the solution set. That's right. So that's why we do the 0, 0 test, is because sometimes it's hard to assume which side is the correct one. So instead, we do the 0, 0 test to confirm. So, okay, questions about that? Any questions at all? Okay, I'll go ahead and move on then. All right, so now that we know how to do that, let's go ahead and try another problem. How would we know if it's true or false? Well, that's what this last part talks about, is the 0, 0 test. Again, we have to plug in x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0 into the original inequality. So whatever that original inequality is, you have to plug in 0, 0 in that. And that's how we determine true or false. So it has to start from the very beginning in order to figure out which side you're going to necessarily shade. Okay. Okay. Next, we're going to go ahead and do a problem here with two variables and two equations. So let's do that one. Okay, and all right. So these are our two equations here. X plus y is less than 4, and 4x minus 2y is less than 6. Okay. All right, so let's solve for y in each of these particular equations. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and you can do it step 1, step 2 interchangeably. So let's try it that way. Maybe that's a bit easier. Okay, all we're going to do now is just subtract the x. Okay, so y is equal to 4 minus x. And we're going to go ahead and graph that as well with a little XY chart at least to start with. Okay, put 0, we get 4. We get 4, we get 0. That should be fine. Okay, then we'll try the other one there. Wait. Oh, you can't. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Sam. You're right. It was covered up by my face. My bad. Okay. Now, next here is going to be, can't see. Now you can't see my live either. So can you hear me? Okay, Julio? Or no? I mean, it's up to you if you want to, like. Okay. Let me try something here. Maybe. Let's see here. Let me try that.